Many couples have a wedding planner to help with their big day, but have no plan when things don't work out. Divorce can be a traumatic experience. The Guide to Good Divorce seminar helps women realize that the end to one chapter means the beginning of another, and that doesn't have to be a bad thing.
So after I saw that workshop, I came in here to the conference room and the entire table was filled with my life. He had every single motion, every single filing. He knew more about my case than I did because my attorney had never told me the outcomes of some of these things.
Having those women in the room, hearing the other speakers, really gave me the sense that I could do it, that I had the tools, I had the ability, and that I would have the support.
The seminar highlights opportunities for discovery, personal growth, and new beginnings. The next seminar takes place this Saturday. Joining us is the founder, certified family law attorney Trey Yates III, Molly Ward with Well Lived Wealth in Alliance with Equitable, and Marianne Hughes, a certified special needs divorce coach. Good morning.
Good morning, Deborah.
All right. When I say board certified family law attorney, I just want to reiterate the fact that it's important to have somebody who specializes in the area that you're dealing with of the law, because law is big.
Well, absolutely, and family law can be very complicated because it can involve corporate law, it can involve criminal law, federal taxation. So you want to go to someone who's in the trenches on a daily basis.
Yeah, and it's so personal and so emotional.
That's why we put together the Guide to Good Divorce, because it's a more holistic approach for women approaching this new transition in their life.
Why women in particular is what you focus on?
Well, because in my opinion, the cards are stacked against women in Texas with divorce. I mean, we've got some draconian laws that are made by angry white men on their third marriages, right? So everyone has a vested self-interest up there, and so we try to even the playing field.
Yeah, and with that said, don't rely on what you heard, because laws differ from state to state. I can't tell you how many times I've heard women say, well, I'll get alimony. Well,
yeah, we don't have that in Texas.
Not in Texas, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then the idea of everything's divided 50-50.
Right. Nowhere in the statute does it say that you have to be satisfied with only 50%,
yeah.
Okay? The other thing that drives me nuts is people, they have lots of money at stake, they have children with special needs, and they go download a form off the internet which might have been manufactured by some outfit in California. It doesn't apply here.
Right.
So be very careful about those forms.
The other thing, and I have a friend who just went through this, her husband said, listen, let's just save money and we'll just use my attorney.
Yeah, well, that's totally unethical. A lawyer cannot represent two people in a divorce. So that should be a huge red flag when your husband says, we'll use my attorney.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
and
not
then of course,
not a good sign.
One of the other myths is, the woman's going to get the house and the children because she's the woman.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Things have changed. We have a whole new bunch of judges, both in Harris County and Fort Bend. It's a different game now.
All right.
Different game.
And Molly, times have changed. It's like I've got my own account. I have my own. I've never commingled my funds. That's just the way my mom raised me, right? But for a lot of women, and they'll say, oh, the money, that's his thing, right? And so you find a lot of women who'll come to you, and the first thing, they don't know where the money is, right, or what the money is.
It is such a difficult time. And some women come in for financial consultation and they say, I've totally got this. But other women, and most women say, I feel like I got hit by a freight train. Mm-hmm. And I get that. I remember going through my own divorce, that pit in my stomach, and the women in there are asking questions like, what about my house? Yeah. What I love this house. I want to stay in the house. I decorated the house.
Because you could get the house in a divorce. Can you stay in the house?
Exactly. Right? Their life has been totally dismantled. They're asking about their income and what are they going to need to get a job, and about the kids. What about their lifestyle? How are they going to pay for things? It's probably the largest financial transaction of their life.
And the other thing is, like, this is the part where you really know that you need a professional, whether you know it or not, because you start getting into things like dividing retirement plans, taxable and non-taxable assets, executive benefit plans, stock options and restricted stock. All that stuff is where you have somebody who is an expert in finance who can go through those things.
Yes. So that is called a Certified Divorce Financial Analyst, a CDFA. It is imperative, if your viewers are contemplating a divorce or going through a divorce, to assemble a team with a divorce attorney. And then they're awesome at the law, that's their expertise. Then there needs to be this expert in finance. So Certified Divorce Financial Analyst. We have women coming in that have a financial background, and they say, I have a background in this, but it's swirling in my head. I need help.
Or the fact that you're commingling your background in finance, but you're commingling finance and divorce, so that becomes a different thing as well.
Could I just jump in here also, that when you have a child with special needs, you add a completely different component of complexity.
Yeah.
And usually it's mom who's the primary caretaker. So not only is she worried about her own financial future, but she's carrying the burden of her child with her.
Yeah, and that's the
which
case.
could be a lifetime commitment.
Yeah, with Mary, you have 2 special needs children, sons on the opposite ends of the autism spectrum. And like so many people, you were blindsided when your ex-husband came home and said what?
That we were getting a divorce. And so it was a shock to me and to my kids, and my focus and my priority mission in my divorce was to make sure that my kids will be taken care of now and in the future, and how to plan for that. So I didn't want to rush into any decisions, and took my time, got a great team, and got a great result for my family. But it is, like Trey said, very complicated. So many things going on, not just the emotional divorce, but how to get through it. And so that's what I do, is try to help people go from the emotion to the business side of divorce.
Yeah, because you, again, the other needs may include special schooling, all that type of stuff, right?
Exactly.
And what were you dealing with?
Yeah, so first of all, how I was going to break the news to my kids, how could they understand it, given that there are different abilities and different ways of understanding things, and finding people to support them through that process, as well as planning for their future. So unlike a typical divorce, when you're really only thinking about till age 18, now you have to start thinking about the future. What are the things going to be when they're adults? And my kids are becoming adults at that point. So I had to take a long-term kind of life care view of that.
Because your kids were dealing with autism, you have other kids who are dealing with, the wheelchairs and things like that, and just an array of different challenges.
And the way the family code is written, it is not written for children with special needs. The visitation schedule doesn't work. The child support calculations don't work. How you have to plan for first-party Medicaid payback trust, third-party supplemental needs trust. All of this needs to be part of the dialogue when you're getting a divorce.
Yeah, all right. You mentioned you didn't stop until your sons got what they deserved. The case went to trial. Now, a lot of cases don't go to trial. There are times they'll go to mediation, and you are, by the way, a certified mediator as well. If you can take care of it with the mediator, it saves time, emotional issues, and can save money. But sometimes it will go to trial. Yours went to trial.
Right. Sometimes parents don't agree or have a different opinion as to what the child's abilities are and disabilities. And so we had to talk about those kind of issues as part of the process to then determine the ongoing child support and the amount of child support that would be appropriate.
Yeah, this was a precedent-setting case, right?
We were in trial for a long time, and we were able to get Marianne a very good result. And I just want to shout out what a amazing woman she is. She's one of the most inspirational people that I've met in a long time. And she walks the walk and talks the talk. She went from being shell-shocked to look at her now.
Yeah,
she has this huge career helping other people.
Or a passion can choose you. This passion chose and found you. You took the bull by the horns, as we say. You founded the Special Family Transitions. You help families navigate complexities of special needs divorce. You are a certified divorce coach, certified divorce transition and recovery coach, and a special needs divorce coach, a mediator, life coach, all of those things. And so the great thing about
her divorce.
Yeah, since your divorce. Yeah, when did you find this time, right? But the great thing about that is that when someone sits down and comes to you, they're scared, right? Because not just for themselves, but for the children, right? And you can say, everybody's story is different, but I've been somewhat in your shoes.
Exactly. I've been there, so I can relate to what they're going through, but I help them find a path and people to connect to and how to get through the process in a way that respects themselves and their kids, and then, like you said, looks towards their future as to what they're going to be doing after that.
And that's what makes the Guide to Good Divorce so unique, because we focus not only on the hard sciences, legal, financial, but then we transition into wellness, life skills, meditation, gratitude work, to show these ladies that it's a process. You're going to get through it, and you're going to come out on the other side. My co-presenters here.
And I've seen the women in that room before, and you can see when they walk through the doors, sometimes they'll just be kind of, they're shy about walking in the room.
Right.
But then the other thing they realize is that they're not the only one. Unfortunately, divorce is common, and they see that they're not the only one, and they hear these stories, and although the details may change, a lot of it's the same situation, right?
And they minister to each other in the Guide to Good Divorce. The divorce rate for families with special needs, 85%.
Wow. Wow.
85%.
Divorce rate is high anyway, but you add that
Yep.
and it becomes crazy.
Yeah.
All right, and as you mentioned, there are just different things that are going to be needed in that settlement, right? Not just a straight, okay, here's your child support, here we go.
And it involves not only a family law specialist, but also someone who does trusts, someone who understands Medicaid and
that's
SSI planning.
Yeah.
How the child support is to be paid, because if child support is paid to the mom after the child is 18, it's imputed as income to the child, which disqualifies the child for SSI or Medicaid. And Medicaid is so important even in this era where we're trying to decimate Medicaid for whatever reason, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
right. Okay, which is why we need a professional team.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you so much. The Guide to Good Divorce seminar takes place this Saturday at the St. Regis Hotel, 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. The cost is just $97 and includes a light breakfast. You can call them at this number, 713-999-1161. Again, that's 713-999-1161. You can also visit their website at guidetogooddivorce.com or email them at info@guidetogooddivorce.com. There will be a lot of expert advice on how to navigate your new life around divorce. So if it's you or someone you know, this is a good way to basically start the process and have someone who can walk you through that process.